Hi everyone, it's poetry time with an explanation at the end of the video, so stick with me to find the full meaning of the poem or the experience behind the poem or whatever inspired me to write the poem. Okay, so yeah, let's do this. So the poem is called Sun for Shame, Moon for Madness. So this poem, first of all, there was a part 1 and a part 2, but later on I decided to just make the whole thing just as one poem. The first part I called it Something Is Wrong, and then the second part I called it Sun for Shame, Moon for Madness, because it was like a transition. So Something Is Wrong is the first part where she's hurt, where this particular girl is hurt and breaking, and so we see the process of her breaking. And then part 2, the one that's called Sun for Shame, Moon for Madness, is her just breaking out of the funk she sank in after she was heartbroken, after she broke, and after she decided to not cower and not be, I don't know how to put it. The first one you see the process of her breaking, and then the second part you see her literally coming together. She's still broken, yeah, not like pieces coming together, but like her deciding to go out and be fierce to that one man who broke her, be fierce to herself, because she doesn't want to be in that funk anymore. So the first part is called Something Is Wrong, like I said, and it goes like this. Something is wrong, says the silence. She can only face the wall and her eyes won't shut. Her eyes are a bitter red and her mouth trembles. Her mouth moves with the sounding of her cry. Her cry is now silent and her head is pounding. Her head aches just like her whole betrayed body. So she stays still and can only face the wall. Thought after thought, trying to discern his words. Tear after tear, hoping to understand his actions. She is crouching into a ball, her sobs stop. The only thing you can hear is the beating of her heart. The beating of something that was breaking and heavy. Then the losing of self. Sun for shame, moon for madness. She will feed on tears and dish out fears. And sees the sun moon come up for her, she cowers with all the shame of the town. When the moon hangs over every head, she is wakeful with all the madness in her, protesting the ways of the one man she calls a town, for the world she has never seen, never imagined. She cries that he must keep at it, whatever it is that he does. Every day she demands to know his whereabouts, because she knows him not anymore. For a stranger's business is never to be visualized. Horrible to hear is her voice when her fears are stirred. So he ignores the fearful words and trembles to her wails. She is at it without pause, every night as if a new cause. She's not weak anymore. He answers her actions. So I hope you all saw the transition. So the first part, something is wrong, says the silence. She is comfortable. She's always been comfortable in silence. So, but this particular silence where she's, residing in, it doesn't sound okay. And so the line starts like this: something is wrong, says the silence. She can only face the wall and her eyes won't shut. You see, like the way you're going through something and all you want to do is like go to bed, crouch yourself into a ball and just cry or look at space, something like that. Yeah. Her eyes are a bit red and her mouth trembles, from crying. Her mouth moves with you see, you've noticed like the first line she can only face the wall and her eyes won't shut, and then the next line I start something about her eyes. Her eyes are a bit red and her mouth trembles, and then the next line something to do with her mouth. Her mouth moves with the sounding of her cry, and then the next line something to do with her cry. Her cry is now silent and her head is pounding, and then again about her head. Her head aches just like her whole betrayed body. This particular line is the way have you ever been hurt so much that even the pain that you're feeling in your heart is literally just now physical? Like it's not even in your heart or inside you anymore, it's literally physical. You start to feel drained. Your whole body even aches the same way your heart is aching. So, crying, and now I'm explaining how her eyes are red from crying, her mouth trembling, the kind of crying where you cry so much that you start to tremble, her whole body is aching and her head is pounding because, well, the head is something else. Like you're going through it, you're crying, and then it just decides to make you feel more pain. It just doesn't make sense. I hate that. I genuinely hate that. I'm going through something, I'm crying, I'm supposed to get comfort, but my body decides, oh, so you are hurt, let me show you pain, and then it just starts aching because of crying. And then there's thought after thought, trying to discern his words. You just sit down. Let's say, for example, you're in a relationship, you've been heartbroken, he's cheated or done something, and so you're trying to think so much, thought after thought, trying to discern his words, trying to understand the words of his apology, the words of your breaking, stuff like that. Tear after tear, hoping to understand his actions, whatever it is that he did to hurt you, to hurt her or you. She's crouching into a ball, there it is, and then her sobs stop. They just stop suddenly. The only thing you can hear is the beating of her heart, the beating of something that was breaking and heavy. Of course, her heart, the one that was breaking, and it was heavy from all that bitter crying and all those emotions. Then the losing of self. She was this sweet, naive girl, but this breaking that happened here is what I'm calling the losing of self, because she wakes up as something else, someone not soft, someone not taking all the blows, and she decides to wake up, and now she's mad and she's angry and she's feeling vengeful, and she just wants to avenge her heart and herself. Even though it doesn't take revenge to calm her, she just wants to feel like she's got it. She wants to feel like no other man can take advantage of me like that. So excuse me, hence the next part. Okay, this cannot be a talking mood right now when I'm doing the video. Okay, so hence the next part, called Sun for Shame, Moon for Madness. She wakes up with all the madness in her. And it goes, she will feed on tears and dish out fears. See the tears that she literally had to cry all that time because of a man. She'll be feeding on them tears. She's not afraid to heartbreak anyone. Not in a bad way. It's just that you don't get to take advantage of me in the name of I'm not a bad person, I'm such a nice person, so you can take advantage of me. I will make you cry. I will. And I know you get it. And then she'll feed on tears and dish out fears. Making people fear her. Thinking this kind of fear that she's dishing out is going to make people be afraid to even approach her. When they don't approach her, they will not be in her life. If they're not in her life, then they will not break her anymore. And since the sun won't come up for her, again, this time in Akwanga, a very dark period. So that is why I'm saying the sun won't come up for her. The light. And since the sun won't come up for her, she cowers with all the shame of the town. When the moon hangs over every head, she is wakeful with all the madness in her. So people kind of relate, even the Bible kind of relates the sun to shine, like you're out there, the light is on you, so everything you do we can see. When you're breaking, we can see. When you're crying, we can see you. When you're crying because of a man, we can see you, shameful woman. So yeah. But when the moon hangs over every head at night, now when the darkness comes, it kind of relates to the kind of darkness she feels inside. So that is her place, that is her residing place now. She is wakeful with all the madness in her. And right now she can, at that time she can wake up, she can do anything, she can break, she can even kill you. Okay, protesting the other ways of the one man she calls a town. I hope you love that line. For the world she has never seen, never imagined. She's still a bit naive. She still hasn't been out there to see all the kinds of people that are out there. But she cries that he must keep at it, whatever it is that he does. Now she's not even telling him to stop. It's like, go on. It's okay, you keep going. Now I'll show you what I can do. I'm sorry about this. It's just, allergies. Every day, she demands to know his whereabouts, but she knows him not anymore. After the breaking, after this person that you trusted so much breaks you, this is someone who mattered so much to you, this is someone you treasured, and suddenly this is someone you hate. You don't even trust anymore. For a stranger's business is never to be visualized. Horrible to hear her voice, because when she speaks, she is mad. She's mad. When her fear is a start, so he ignores the fearful words, the words that she gives him. Not like threatening him, but like words of confidence, words of standing up for herself, words of more like ultimatums that kind of favor her, and trembles to her wills. She's at it without pause. She's not stopping. She's not even stopping to cry. She has to, keep showing him, I am new, I am broken, but now I am still, my pieces are made of steel now. Every night, or she's at it without pause, every night as if a new cause. Every night again when it's dark, she's not weak anymore. In quotes, he answers her actions. She's not weak anymore. He answers her actions. So all those actions, her deciding to get up from, the bed where she was crying and breaking and stuff like that. She decides to get up. She decides to stand for herself, give him ultimatums. All those actions that I've mentioned here. So he answers her actions. All those actions, he answers them with the statement, she is not weak anymore. In other words, she took advantage of her because he took advantage of her because he saw the weakness, he saw the naivety. So yeah, that's the end of the poem. He answers her actions. At least he's aware of that. The next part is her living. Anyway, like I said, these poems are my story. My story. Some of them. Most of them. So obviously this poem was written again when I was going through it. That's how I came out of it. But then I also came out of this madness because the darkness, the madness, the anger was not a good place to be. It just wasn't a good place to be. I stood up for myself. I got angry. Anger helps sometimes, but choosing to stay in that anger, it's poison. It was poison because it kind of ruined me even more than he ruined me. So again, include God in your healing journey. That's the only way you can actually come out of it. Because sometimes you come out of it and find yourself going back to that one place because that wasn't really healing. The one who made you knows how you're supposed to be. So go back to him and tell him, heal me. So that is Jesus. Remember, he loves you. So yeah, bye bye. See you soon. I love you all. My birthday's on 9th June. Bye.